Well, hello, friend, and welcome back to the podcast. Um, Happy Monday. You're probably not listening to this on a Monday, but it's Monday around here. Monday is marketing day. And if you are watching this on YouTube, well, then you get to see. And if you're listening, well, then you just have to imagine it. So, like I said, it's Monday. I like to batch these episodes, but my friend, when you love what you do and you just get into a jam and a vibe and a groove and you are just plugging along, you just take ugly and perfect action. So when I batch these episodes, normally that means one Monday a month I have to comb my hair, put on makeup, put on a bra, all that fun stuff. So my husband is out of the house today and I thought, you know what? I got my work done. I am going to just jump into recording these episodes. Also, I work in Pomodoros. So that's a 25-minute focused work session and 5 minutes off. So if you're watching this, you're welcome. You get to see that I went and got myself ready in 5 minutes. I refused to take off my tank top because it's supposed to be 80 and sunny here in Alabama today. Plus, I still have 2 more hikes and a workout this afternoon. So I am just doing what I teach, taking ugly, imperfect action. And I love that. So today we are going to be talking about what happens after myofunctional therapy training, because nobody prepares you for this part. You have finished your training. You're so excited. You've got the knowledge. You feel very capable. You're thinking, I've got this. Let's go. And then a few weeks later, you are still sitting at your computer thinking, wait, what do I do next? What are the steps? What do I need to do before I'm ready to have a client? Why does this still feel unclear to me? And if that's you, you need to hear me very loudly and very clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. You didn't pick the wrong training. Nothing you did. You didn't fail. You didn't miss something. You simply completed what I like to call phase 1. And nobody told you that there's a phase 2. So when I finished my training, I was ready. I was excited. I was desperate to leave hygiene. But I knew that I needed to get going, okay? Momentum is going to create confidence. The problem is that there was a big gap between the information that my training program gave me, like just threw it at me, hey, here you go, and implementation. Like, how do I use this? I knew the exercises, I understood the anatomy, but a step by step, like, what do I actually need to do to be prepared to take a client? That part was really fuzzy. So I did what most type A or type A plus high achievers, I did what they do. I worked harder. Oh, and trust me, I worked harder. I perfected things. I beautified them. I spent more time polishing my website. I designed the most beautiful social media graphics. I made things look legitimate. And let me lovingly tell you this, that, my friend, was perfectionism dressed up as productivity. Okay. I wasn't building a roadmap. I was indulging in busy work. And I see this every day with so many of you guys who are already trained in myofunctional therapy. So you're scrambling, you're posting on Instagram because you think that's how you're going to get clients. You're writing content when you've never defined who your who is. You don't even know who your ideal customer is. And many of you guys are just chasing that desperate energy of, I just need a client. I just need a client. When what you actually really need is structure. So today, I want to walk you through why most trained therapists are stuck after their training and what to do instead. Okay. So step 1, recognize that your training was phase 1. Most likely, okay? I've been teaching this for a long time and I have a lot of information about other programs out there. They're great with giving you that clinical knowledge. But clinical competency and business competency are 2 totally different skill sets. Your training gave you the knowledge, but it did not give you decision-making filters. It did not give you offer clarity. It did not give you workflow. It did not give you implementation sequence. It did not teach you how to go from, hey, I know this information, to I built this. I built this company. Okay. I built this multi-million-dollar myofunctional therapy practice. That is not criticism, my friend. It is just a reality. And many programs, most of them focus on the clinical foundations, and they should. But if you stop there, you are now standing at the edge of an entirely different game, the business game. And if nobody hands you a roadmap for that game, you're going to feel scattered, overwhelmed, nervous, fearful, all of the negative emotions. And it's not because you're incapable, it's because you're operating without a sequence, without a plan, without a roadmap. So step 2, stop trying to feel ready and build before you build your structure. Okay. So don't take another class. You don't need to add more letters behind your name, my friend. You don't need 6 more months of thinking about it. You need decisions. And instead of making decisions, most therapists are researching, they're busy working, they're redesigning their logo, they're taking another mini course or another continuing ed or another podcast. And they tell themselves that they are preparing, but preparation without implementation, my friend, is just delay. Let me say that again. Preparation without implementation, you are just delaying. I really think you're just delaying living a life that you were bonkers about. Clarity does not come from more input. It comes from organized execution. You're not stuck because you lack confidence. Okay. You're stuck because you lack a roadmap. Confidence will come when you start doing the right things in order. Okay, so that brings me to step number 3. And this is to define the first 3 business decisions that you need to make. Not 20, 3. Okay, I hope you have a piece of paper. Number 1, who are you serving? That's what you need to know. Who are you serving? Number 2, what problems are you solving for your who? Not all of them. 1. What's really hard here, and I've been seeing a lot of this in coaching, is, basically there's 4 goals of myofunctional therapy: correct tongue posture, correct mouth posture, nasal breathing, and swallow correct and normalized. So you want to solve all of those. And yes, you're going to. When somebody does therapy with you, you're going to solve or help them with all of the things that they have wrong, per se. But when you're trying to market to these people, you are really wanting to have just a little hyper-specific area or problem that you're solving for this person, okay? That's how you're going to get their attention. You have to know who it is that you're talking to and what it is what's their pain point? What are the worries or the wants? What are they up Googling at night? So that is going to be number 2. So number 1, who's your who? Define your who. Number 2, what are you solving for them? I want you to get very specific here, okay? Once this happens, once you know really who your who is or what your specific little problem that you're solving, like improving sleep quality for exhausted middle-aged women, okay? That your messaging gets more clear. Then your content gets easier. Your confidence is going to increase because you're going to start getting more traction talking to that person. If you know your who is a middle-aged, sleep-deprived woman and you're helping her with sleep, you can save time writing content about undiagnosed tongue ties in children, okay? So then number 3 is, what is your unique myofunctional experience? So if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that this isn't just about prices. This is about the whole experience. What makes you different than Susie Q in the next town, county, state, wherever, who is charging half of what you need to charge. Okay. So you don't want this to be a situation where people can just compare you based on price. Like when people can call around and say, hey, how much do you charge for 4 bite wings? You don't want somebody to be able to compare price shopping like that. You don't want to be a commodity. You're not wheat, you're not corn. You'll hear me say this time and time again. So when you define your unique myofunctional experience, this makes it impossible for them to compare. And this is going to be about more than the price. This is the package. How do you deliver therapy? What's different about working with you? How long are the sessions? What's included? What does support look like? Okay. All of those things are going to be part of your UME, as we call it. So those 3 decisions are, once you have made those 3 decisions, number 1 was your who, number 2, what problem you're solving for them, number 3 is your unique myofunctional experience. So this is your offer. This is your irresistible offer. Once you have made those decisions, then now your marketing can become strategic instead of desperate. Okay. I was doing a coaching call with somebody recently, newly trained, finishing her program. And when I met with her, she had all these questions about hey, where do I get people? How do I grow my business? All of these things. And I said, okay, well, what's your, what's your price? Who's your who? What are you solving for them? And it was like deer in the headlights. So this is really important. Okay. So that's where you're going to start. Okay. So that's your homework. Write down the answers to those 3 questions. Who am I serving first? What problem am I solving for them? What is my UME? Okay. My unique myofunctional experience. What is my your irresistible offer? Say that 10 times fast. Okay. You have your homework. You can do it. If you feel resistance to those questions, my friend, that is where your work is. That is where your growth is. If you want help with this, yes, you can hop into coaching with me. It might be exactly what you need. So I encourage you to book your Unstuck call, and we're going to hop right into finding a solution for one area where you're stuck. And then when we're there, we will talk about you and your business, and I can lay out like, okay, here's what we would do over the next 6 months if you were brave enough to join a coaching program with me, because that's what we do. It's a 6-month container. Now, a lot of you guys always ask me like, well, do I have to have a business coach to, build the type of business that I have built? And the answer is yes. Yes, you do. If you want a particular result, like earning more money, having more freedom, leaving hygiene, being in total control of your calendar, working from home in your yoga pants or working from home in your tank top, then yes, you need a coach, okay? If you want a particular result in business, having a business coach it's necessary. It's not just a nice to have. Remember, I've had tons of coaches. That is the biggest thing. I built this multi-million-dollar business, but I've had help along the way. You have to have somebody help you teach you these skills, these CEO skills in phase 2 in your business building stuff that you don't already have. They don't come with your clinical training. So these are the skills that I teach you in coaching, so that you don't have to go figure out all of the systems and the communications and the marketing and the selling and the confidence and time management and finance, all of those things. I always tell people I'm the knowledge broker. I'm the one who has spent tens of thousands of dollars on my own coaches. I get the business training. I bring it to the micro niche of myofunctional therapy, and I teach you exactly how to put it to use for your business. So it is important to remember, my friend, nothing grows without growth. And so if you as a business owner, if you don't grow, then your business or the dream, all of those things that we're working towards, those don't grow either. All right. So you have some homework, okay? Go do your homework. And then we will be back soon to keep talking about this, to keep having this conversation. If you're stuck, go book that call and I will be back. We will continue this conversation so that you can learn how to grow, start, simplify. How about start, grow, and simplify your myofunctional therapy business?